Hi, I'm Betty McCollum, and I am so very proud to represent the veterans and their families in the 4th Congressional District of Minnesota. It's my honor to work on behalf of our veterans throughout our great state and throughout our nation. And it's a special honor and privilege that I hold dear in my heart, as my father was a World War II veteran in China, India, Burma. I want to take this opportunity to speak to you about my work in Congress and my support for those who have bravely served our nation in the military armed forces. To our state veterans organizations, I want to thank you for your tireless advocacy and your support for your fellow veterans and families, both here at home in Minnesota and in Washington, D.C. And I have to do a special shout out, I just have to, so forgive me, to my VFW Post and Auxiliary in North St. Paul, my American Legion Post and Auxiliary that I belong to in North St. Paul 39. The COVID pandemic has resulted in an unprecedented year of turmoil and pain and challenges for so many of us. We've experienced hardship, as I said, pain, and in many families, great grief as the pandemic took a hold here in Minnesota, our nation, and around the world. It literally turned our world upside down. We took the necessary steps to ensure that we had the resources and able to be there for our families and for our veterans to weather the storm. In March, I voted for the American Rescue Plan, one of the most recent steps in the fight against COVID. And President Biden signed that into law until March 12th. And I'm going to just read a few things that's in that plan. The American Rescue Plan contains $14.5 billion for COVID-related health care, and that includes funding for three Minnesota veteran stay-at-home projects. I want to thank all of you who worked so hard to ensure that those state veteran home projects were funded. The projects are in Bemidji, Montevideo, and Preston, and they're going to receive over $80 million in federal funding. And once these projects are completed, they will bring a great needed capacity for long-term assisted care, along with 250 jobs for those local economies. The VA will also be implementing new investments, including housing support, reimbursement for certain co-pays, workforce retraining programs, and still work strenuously on reducing the backlog of pension claims and compensation. And there are many other priorities I want you to know about in Washington that I'm either co-author or directly involved in. So in this past year, I'm going to continue my work on legislation that addresses burn pits and toxic substance for veterans of all eras of service. We're going to seek a prompt resolution and directives in order to establish standards and disability compensation by the Department of Veterans Affairs. And we will continue our support to make sure that it's equitable and fair treatment to all veterans, regardless of race or gender. And then there's a bill in the House, and it's bill number 1355. It's the K-2 Veterans Act of 2021, which provides health care and benefits to veterans who are exposed to toxic substance in Uzbekistan. I'm also original co-sponsor of HR 1585, which provides for the treatment of veterans who participated in the cleanup of the radioactive mineral Atoll. I'm committed to fair and equitable treatment. You folks know that. That's because you're committed to it too. And the access to all of our veterans needs to be there. And the inequities that have been faced by our women veterans in the VA healthcare system, well, you know that that's been a top priority since I've been involved in the auxiliary and heard firsthand of how some of our women veterans were treated. So I'm going to be supporting some legislation. It's the Women, Veterans, and Family Service Act of 2021, and that's going to really drill down and focus on that issue. I think you need to know that there's always talk about privatization in the VA healthcare system, and I know the unique injuries and conditions of our veterans. And so I oppose privatization of our VA healthcare system. The pandemic has highlighted some of the problems in our system that must be addressed. And more importantly, it has demonstrated the resilience in the system. Yes, there are good things the VA system does. So it's highlighted the resilience and the determination of those who want to serve our veterans and those who work in the VA system. So we've got some great first line, upfront responders who have been working day and night during this pandemic. The VA has been busy distributing vaccines, 1.8 million veterans, nearly 250,000 staff. Nearly 14,000 federal partners are fully vaccinated. Here, the Minneapolis VA has vaccinated more than 80,000 veterans, and now they're working on getting vaccines to caregivers and spouses. So thank you for giving me a few minutes to reach out to you. I miss the opportunity to interact and see you in person. I really do. I miss you all. But we need to keep a dialogue moving forward on how we can deliver the best services possible to our veterans through the Department of Veterans Affairs. Now I'm chair of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Defense, and I continue to work to ensure that the needs of our armed forces are met and that we take care of our future veterans while they're serving us currently. So I'm committed to work with you to make sure that everybody gets the benefits that they're entitled to. And I want to thank you for all the work that you do. Some of you are post members. Thank you for your service. The auxiliary members, I know how it takes a whole family and a whole community to support our veterans and to welcome them home. So I wish you a successful week, and I look forward to seeing you in person and not virtually next year. All the best. Bye-bye.